the links to join the channel here over at Subscribestar. I got a mailbox. Want to mail me some comics, though not comics like this. So Trans Superman, I thought this was a joke or something when I first saw it. I thought there's no way this could actually, this just is like out of some nightmare. So Mags Visaggio, perhaps you've heard of them, is a small scale. They have a long history of involvement with Comicsgate and diversity in comics and all Vagrant Queen and all that kind of nonsense. Is a small scale comic writer who writes mostly gay characters that are mad at their dad and think if only they had socialism, everyone could just be gay and smoke weed and everything would be like super chill, man, and cool. Like, I think you're going to be in a mine and you're not going to be given estrogen and all this, and you're definitely not going to be given weed. So they keep writing Kim and Kim. I mean, it keeps coming out and getting canceled, which is about two gay characters in a Star Wars ripoff, but they solve mysteries and sodomize each other across the galaxy. I mean, it's an obviously painful Star Wars ripoff. It's bizarre that Mags is still sort of a known name because nothing Zur writes actually sells. But as long as Z can attach the rainbow flag to the profile, they have a following. So they get 40,000 Twitter followers, but everything they write gets to like 4 or 5 issues, and that's it. It just gets canceled. And they're an example of someone who's completely astroturf. Like, they're a known name, and then you look around at what they're putting out there, and you're like, why are you a known name? How is it? Oh, I'm trans. Yeah, is that it? Is like that all it takes? Yeah, that's all it takes. It really, that's why they have 40,000 Twitter followers, and they haven't actually written anything, and they're always shilling for weed money on their GoFundMe or whatever, simply because like they're part of that rainbow flag thing. It's a weird mainstream comics industry. Yeah, that is a weird mainstream comics industry. So one of the issues is they're writing these gay characters, these gay stories, but it's way over the top musical theater gay. It's try too hard gay, and the believe it or not, the audience for gay characters is really small because gay people just read normal comics, because I assume not everything in their life is about being gay. Like, being straight isn't your whole life either. It's just kind of in the background. So something like the Comicsgate stuff, the Jawbreakers, the Ironsides, and whatever else came out, that all worked because those are just fun action adventure stories. I don't remember sex being an issue in most of my favorite stories. And having men wear dresses, it's just such a small part of the audience that is going to be on board with wanting to buy those comics. You know, ultimately, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at like a paying audience. Does the audience exist or not? It's like, no, there's no way. None of this is a sustainable industry. It has to be just a very small background. And thing is, most people just don't understand it, because you see a man in a dress and you're asking yourself, well, why is he in a dress? He says he's a woman, but he's a man. I can't, I'm not solving that equation. It's kind of making our brains go into the blue screen fatal error, divide by zero, where pi is something other than it is. We keep kind of trying to solve the unsolvable equation. It's like, man in dress, but he says he's a woman. None of it makes sense. Like, you just have to accept it, but like, we just don't think that way. We want to arrive at a solution where the solution might be, well, the person who's giving us information is just crazy, because it doesn't make sense when they try to explain it, and it just sounds crazy when they try. And eventually you come to the conclusion, it's like, oh, it's not your fault for not understanding it. You look at the person who's putting out these ideas and you realize there's something wrong with them. They're either crazy, or they're kind of like purposely living in this cognitive dissonance world, or the other. I guess the kind solution would be say, well, they have different definitions of words, and they're like, okay, so we're not even speaking the same language anymore, so we have to have a translation. But they're still using English words, but they have different definitions. So like, well, that means you're using a different language. It's like, yeah, that's really where we are now in current year. So the other weird thing about this is they're going to make this character a male, be attracted to women, so a normal straight relationship, except they were going to make him a lesbian, except it's a man who is attracted to a woman. Again, the brain just can't. You're calling, okay, so I look at that, like, we know what that is. That's just a normal straight relationship. And they go, no. Actually, they're all like all these letters of the alphabet, and they're all queer, and it's a lesbian relationship. That doesn't. So if oh Jesus. So if the woman, he's a biological man who in a dress, attracted to a woman, and so you're calling that a lesbian relationship. But okay, so if the biological woman just said, no, I'm a man now. Okay, so now it's a straight relationship again. It's like, no, none of those things are real. It was what it always was. It's just a biological man attracted to a biological woman. Like all the words they're putting on there is wrong. All their definitions are wrong. It's like, we already have words that define this. You're going to have to use new words. It doesn't make him a lesbian if it's a man and a woman. That's like not the definition of what a lesbian is. And everyone knows this. It's like, well, if we just keep using these new terms and phrases, people will get on board. Um, they might, but it's like then you're in a situation of the emperor has no clothes, where everyone's agreeing to this kind of fictional universe. And I mean, that goes along for a little while, and then it kind of feels like everything just kind of collapses. But anyway, all that super sodomy aside, how does this help us sell more comics? Sell comics? The point is not to sell comics. They don't give a damn about selling comics. So the character is a man in a jacket that is open in the front, but it's the sleeves are on the jacket. So it's more of a cape, but it's like, I don't think it could even close in the front. It's just a cape. So, but they have to take it off. They'd have to take their arms out of the sleeves, and it doesn't even button in front or something. It's like, why not just give him a cape? I don't know. And he's got, I mean, because like, I guess because you're saying they're trans, it's got to be, the costume's got to be, because I think all the super family of characters, they're all just, they wear capes. It's like the cape just attaches at the shoulders or whatever. But they have to give this character something a little bit different to let you know that they're just a man in kind of a dress sort of thing. And he's got longer hair with one side of the head shaved, so it unfortunately looks like a mullet. And the shaved side of the head, that's just been done. It's punk rock. It's the '80s, so it's been done for 40 years now. It's You just can't keep doing it. They do it in Star Wars. They do it in mainstream comics. It's really, really played out. Like the counterculture would just be having a normal hair. It's like if you want to be stunning and brave and being original and be different, it's like the difference is between your ears, not in dressing like a cliche stereotype punk rocker. It's like you're just wearing a uniform. Anyway, so none of this makes sense. He's got the head shave, a mullet. And he's got lipstick on. And then let me get to the boobs again. I mean, calling them boobs is kind of an insult. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be. It's like he's asymmetrical boobs. He's got something there, and lipstick, and a very square chin, and all this is just getting weirder and weirder. So he's got boobs. How did he get boobs? Are there surgical implants? Is he taking estrogen? Why is he doing that? What's going on? We'll never know, because the comic never got made, and Mags is back to shilling for weed money and whatever. Guys, I don't need weed, actually, but you can send comics to my mailbox or join the channel here over at Subscribestar. Comics just gets weirder and weirder. And honestly, it's like, this isn't fun. This is just darkly disturbing. That they have these bizarre Untermensch power fantasies of, I mean, it feels satanic, honestly, to me. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all next episode.